Everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Hello everyone, I welcome you to the third episode of Beena's Notebook. And today we have a very special guest with us, and she is Dr. Shubhra Mukherjee. She has more than a decade of experience in teaching graduate and postgraduate students. Even she has published a number of articles, research papers. She is the co-founder of Triples Solutions. So I welcome Dr. Shubhra Mukherjee to Beena's Notebook. Hello, Dr. Shubhra Mukherjee. I welcome you to the third episode of Beena's Notebook. I welcome you.
Thank you so much, Veena. It's a pleasure to be here in your show, and thank you so much for inviting me to your show. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Even I'm feeling very glad that you are in the part of this show. Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending time here.
Pleasure.
Yes. So, Dr. Shubhra, please tell us your journey from an academician to an entrepreneur. We all would like to know about it.
Okay, that's a very interesting question, and I'm very close to my heart. So thank you so much for this interesting question that you have posed to me. So if I talk about my journey from an academician, where I have spent a large part of my life teaching students, to what I am now, an entrepreneur, it is something, both are very close to my heart. But if I specifically talk about teaching, this is something which I'm very passionate about, and I started at the age of 14 years when I was just in class 8, when a teacher of mine told me that if I could help my own batchmates with mathematics lessons after the class. And it was from there that feeling that, or that passion for teaching started or kindled, and ever since then it continued. I started actually taking it as a profession from the age of 16 years when I started teaching students of class 8 and 9 mathematics and science, and then gradually all throughout my life in one or the other way, even if it was not as a part of profession. But yes, I was teaching lessons, whether it was in my engineering degree or in my post-graduation PhD. Every time anyone in need of my help in terms of knowledge sharing, I always love to do that, because I believe when you share your knowledge with someone, it actually increases, your own knowledge increases. So that was one thing. And then finally, when I took it as a fixed profession, joining a university where I was teaching engineering students of both undergraduate and postgraduate level, I really love teaching, because teaching allows you to be in connect with the youth, and the youth are so energetic. They are young people, they are full of energy, so it gives you that same energy, and you can do a lot of things together. So yeah, that is why I'm so much passionate about teaching. But yes, after a long amount of time, when I worked for more than a decade in the university teaching engineering students, I also found that somewhere I wanted to scale up that. I wanted to enter into a different dimension in my life, and that is when I started thinking about how I could take this to the next level. And yes, that is when this idea of entrepreneurship, that bugs have bitten me around 3 to 4 years back, that I wanted to become, or I wanted to do something of my own also. And from there, last year onwards, we started our journey. I have 2 other partners in the company. We started a company called as Triples Solution, which is an IoT-based solution company. We also provide consultancy, and we also have an academy in that. So yes, we are doing well. We are starting, but yeah, that is my journey from an academician to an entrepreneur. But even today, I'm also an academician, because training is a very integral part of my life. And yes, that is the journey, if I tell you in a nutshell. Yes, Veena.
Wow, great. That was an amazing journey, ma'am. Very good. That's amazing, right? So I want to ask you one question, like, according to you, what do you think are the responsibilities of an educator?
Okay, that's again a very challenging question, Veena, because responsibility, the word itself is so challenging, and sometimes quite often it is misunderstood also. So as an educator, or from my experience of teaching for so long, what I believe is the first and primary concern of an educator should be the students. Every time I go to the class or I go to the practical laboratory or whatever I go for sharing my knowledge with the students, I don't think that I'm teaching them, but I think I'm trying to guide them to find their path in life. And the most important part of the teaching career that I think all educators will agree with me is it's not about us, it's about the students whom we teach. That our approach should be always student-centric approach. And that is where this outcome-based education also comes into, which the government, Indian government is trying to try to say that yes, we should go for an outcome-based approach in education where whatever the teachers teach, it should be always from the point of view that what best the students can make out of it. How can they apply it in their day-to-day life? How can they apply it and earn the skill that is required for doing something in their life? So as an educator, I think the biggest responsibility is to share our knowledge in a way that helps the students walk their path towards success. Yes, I think that would be the perfect responsibility of any educator.
Even I can relate to it. Even I am an educator, right? So that's great. So ma'am, I heard that you love reading books, right? Even mind mapping. So I would like to know what is mind mapping and tell us more about this.
Okay, yes, Veena, you heard it right. I really, really love books, and books are something all over the place in my house. That is something I purchase more than even clothes or cosmetics or anything else in my life. I have been buying books all throughout, and I believe reading is something so engrossing and so important, a skill that we should teach our kids right from the childhood, that yes, they should inculcate this habit of reading. Why I'm saying this, because reading takes you to a different world, that is one thing. But even other than that, when you start reading, it enhances your creativity. It enhances your analytical and logical reasoning power. So that is a very good thing, that every day, even 15 to 20 minutes, when we read or when we ask our kids to read, when we ask our students to read, it really helps them a lot in their life. Now, coming to mind mapping, which is again, I call myself a crazy mind mapper or a passionate mind mapper, because if you see in my house all around, there are so many mind maps on the walls, on my whiteboards, everywhere. So let me just tell you what is mind mapping in a very simple way. Mind mapping is a technique or a tool that helps you put all the things or your thoughts and everything clearly on a piece of paper. And of course, today there are software tools also. So basically, it is a radiant diagram. In our life, if you think about our schools and everything, the way we have been taught, we always take notes in linear way, in linear fashion. We also think in a linear fashion. But today there are scientific research and strong evidences that our brain does not work in linear fashion. Our brain works in non-linear fashion, and mind mapping is a tool which helps you do that exactly. It mimics the brain. It's a radiant kind of diagram. So when I first came across this mind mapping technique, I was amazed by its benefit. It was not only increasing my memory power, but it was also helping me find a lot of answers in my life, whether it was remembering or note-taking a lecture, or whether I was applying it for my students to teach them in the class or in my personal life. Everywhere, mind mapping was showing amazing results. And that's why I have been using it for like past 6-7 years in every area of my life. And I would in fact request everyone who is watching this that at least try once doing a mind map in your life, and you will see it will be so beneficial and it's so beautiful that you'll fall in love with mind mapping. And like, I'm in love with mind mapping always.
Yes, even I like reading books, and I think so I should try this mind mapping, right? Definitely I'm going to try this out. So before I wind up the session with you, I would like you to give message to all the youths of our nation. What message you would like to give to them?
Oh yes, Veena, I think I would start with that same quote that you have started with. If I remember correctly, you started with the quote that we all have the capacity to receive or create whatever we want. If we create the capacity, something like that, we can get whatever we want in life. But the thing is that we need to create that capacity to receive it. That's what you started with. And my message for the youth will be somewhat in the similar direction, that as youth, we know that youth is full of energy, full of enthusiasm, they are dynamic. But along with all these positive qualities, if the youth create that passion that they need to do something in life rather than just worrying or indulging in activities that are unproductive, if the youth focus all their attention towards their goal, then they can actually create the life they want. And I would say this to my younger self also, that there's no point worrying, especially the youth who are in the transition phase, maybe from college and they're looking for a job, or the youth who are just completing their degrees. Often they spend a lot of time indulging in unproductive activities or in worry about the future. But if they keep it all aside and just focus, because they have a lot of abilities, they are very talented. I always say youth equal to talent. So if they focus all the talent and channelize it towards a particular direction with full consistency and perseverance, there's nothing that can stop the youth from achieving the life they want, and they can actually create the capacity to receive whatever they want in life. So yes, hard work, perseverance, consistency, and that passion to do something in life. I think that's the message.
So thank you so much, Dr. Shubhra. Whatever you said is all are going to inspire our youth. Thank you so much for coming to my show and giving us time from your busy schedule. Thank you so much, ma'am, for everything.
Oh, Beena, it was an absolute pleasure. I would rather say an absolute pleasure to share the screen with you and be on your show. I really look forward to having more sessions, and I wish that your channel and your this initiative, Beena's Notebook, achieve great heights in future, and you really do well. So all the best to you, and thank you once again for inviting me. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, ma'am. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So friends, I hope you like the session. We will be meeting you soon with another special guest and another topic. Till then, keep smiling, be positive in life, and whatever you do in your life, give full dedication to it. Thank you so much.